எல்லாருக்கும் வணக்கம். இந்த வீடியோல நம்ம என்ன பார்க்க போறோம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி பாத்தீங்கன்னா configure network and host name resolution statically and dynamically. Okay. So first நான் உங்களுக்கு ஒரு example சொல்றேன். Any device connected to the network needs a IP address. For example like 192.1.2.3. Okay. So this is a sample IPv4 network and next thing பாத்தீங்கன்னா it needs gateway and DNS resolver. So gateway எதுக்கு அப்படின்னு சொல்லி பாத்தீங்கன்னா it's used to transfer data from one network to the other network via route. Okay, so that is the use of the gateway. And next DNS resolver, so it is known as a domain name service. So for example, if we need to reach the google.com, then our system has to DNS what is the IP of google.com and it receives that particular IP of that google.com. And next the device can now talk to the gateway and say I want to connect to the Google's IP. Okay. And next pathina gateway takes the data from our network to the other network and data bounce from network to network and gateway to gateway until it reaches the destination. So all of these network settings like IP address, gateways and DNS resolvers can be configured through dynamically or statically. Okay. So dynamically in the sense it uses the DHCP. DHCP is known as dynamic host configured protocol. So by this DHCP it mentions what are the IPs can be configured dynamically for your system. So statically in the sense we need to mention manually what the IP should be configured for our system. Okay. So இப்போ நம்ம வீடியோக்குள்ள brief என்னன்னு பார்க்கலாம். So first we are going to list the network interface name. So IPL. So this is a short form. So full form என்னன்னு சொல்லி பார்த்தீங்கன்னா IP link show. Okay. So just enter. So if you see here this displays only the name of the network interface in our system. And you can also try the short form also. So both will display the same output only. Okay. So next pathina this LO is known as loopback network adapter. And next pathina ETO, this is known as actual network adapter. So I'm going to clear my screen. And next thing in pathina, if we need to know the IP address of this particular network interface, that is the command. So IPA, this is a short form. And if you need the full form, you can mention that IP address show. Okay. So if you see here, the INET is known as the IP of your network adapter. And for Ethernet, it is the 172.31.11.19/20. So 20 in the sense first 20 bits alone, it is a constant one. So நம்மளோட last digit மட்டும் change ஆகும் and also our IP range is from 0 to 255. So in the range குள்ள எந்த numbers இருந்தாலும் it will be accepting and also important thing first 20 bits will be constant. Okay. So next நம்ம என்ன பார்க்க போறோம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி பாத்தீங்கன்னா we are going to view the route table. So route table எதுக்கு யூஸ் ஆகும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி பாத்தீங்கன்னா so it is used to connect from one network to the other network and by connecting we can transfer the data from one network to the other network and IPR is a short form and IP route show is known as the full form. And if you see here, these are the route tables. Okay. And if you need to add the route table in your system, you can refer my upcoming videos regarding. So next we are going to view the name server or DNS server name. Okay. So cat/etc/resolve config. Okay. So just enter. So if you see here, there is only one name server here. This is known as name server and this is the IP for that. Okay. And there is no matter if you have like more than one number of DNS server. Okay. So I'm going to clear my screen. So next நம்ம என்ன பார்க்க போறோம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி பாத்தீங்கன்னா once நம்ம OS வந்து boot ஆகும்போது it configures a network based settings in a particular file. Okay. So அந்த ஃபைல்குள்ள என்ன network settings இருக்கோ அந்த network setting பேஸ் பண்ணி தான் நம்ம சிஸ்டம் boot ஆகும்போது அதை மேட்ச் பண்ணி எடுத்துக்கும். ஸோ அந்த ஃபைல்குள்ள நீங்க இதெல்லாம் நடக்கணும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி இந்த கான்ஃபிகர் பண்ணிட்டீங்கன்னா ஒன்ஸ் நம்ம சிஸ்டம் பூட் ஆனாலும் இமீடியட்டா அந்த ஃபைல்ல இருக்க செட்டிங்ஸ் தான் அதை எடுத்துக்கும். So then so this is the location ls etc/sysconfig/network scripts. So just enter. So there are 3 files and we can view what are the content in that. So we can press the up arrow and if you press Ctrl A, your cursor will be moved to the starting point. And instead of this ls, we can mention cat. And if you press Ctrl E, then your cursor moves to the end point. Okay. So for example, we can take the if config it. Okay. So just enter. So so this is a setting for this particular file. Okay. So if you see here, boot proto indicates that whether the system is dynamically configured or statically configured. So here the indication is DHCP, which is known as Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. So the system is dynamically configured. So if you need statically, then you can also mention that. So I'll tell you in the upcoming. And also in Red Hat Linux, there is a program called Network Manager, which is the default for managing the network based things. Okay. So in that Network Manager, there are two useful tools for network configuration. First thing in NMTUI and last thing NMCL. So NMTUI stands for Network Manager Text User Interface and NMCLI stands for Network Manager Command Line Interface. So இது என்ன பண்ணும் அப்படினு சொல்லி நான் உங்களுக்கு brief சொல்றேன். So I am going to clear my screen. So sudo nm. So just enter. So by this command you can able to edit the configuration things. Okay, so just enter and next you can choose what are the networks you need to edit. So I'm choosing this and ipa pathina you can edit your profile name and device name. And next pathina if you need to configure your system as static, you can also select here. So if you click here, you can select this manual for statically configured things, and now it is automatic, which is known as dynamic one. Okay. And also we can configure the IP address here. So if you click here, you can add your IPv4 addresses. If you click manual and you need to add the IPv4 configuration for your system. And next pathina, you can choose what are the address, gateway and DNS server and search domains. And you can also add the routing also here. Okay. So if you press escape button, you can come out of that mode. So I'm coming out of this. So if you made any changes, you can press the OK button to save the changes. And if you're pressing the cancel button, then your changes might not be applicable. Okay. So if you want to directly move out of this, you can just press the escape button to come out of this. Okay. Once you made any changes in the configuration, I mean network configuration, you must intimate the system by the following command like sudo nmcli device reapply and you need to mention your network device name. Okay. So I'm going to stop this command by pressing Ctrl C. And next pathina, if you need a static resolution, so in this file name you can mention what are the IP address and also you can mention the host name also. So just enter. So insert mode, and if you see here, this is known as the local IP address and the name for that particular IP address is localhost. Okay. And next pathina, this is the IPv6, above one is IPv4. Okay. And you can mention like 123. So randomly I'm mentioning some IP address and you can mention some name like ting. Okay. So this is the name I'm mentioning for that particular IP address. And at last you can also mention your domain name also. So this is enough for me. So I am pressing the escape WQ to save it. And next pathina you can mention ping and your host name. So just enter. So if you see here, I have mentioned the imaginary IP address only. If you are entering the original IP address, you can also test that host by pinging it. Okay. So I am pressing the Ctrl Z to stop this. So by this ping command, you can check whether the server is reachable or not. Okay. And also you can do SSH from this if you are adding the host in that particular file, and you can mention what is the username like abi at the specified IP address which you mentioned in the host file name. Okay. So like 123, like I'm mentioning the random IP address. Okay. So by this command, you can able to log into the other system as the username known as Abhi and this particular IP belongs to that. So in the video, we have learned how to configure the static and dynamic configuration for our network. So thank you for listening. Have a nice day. If you like my videos, please subscribe me and support me. Thank you.